Yeah, I did. No, I didn't. I gave a DARP without praying. Really? Wow. Okay, let's pray. Father God, thank you so much for today. Thank you for Pastor Paula. I always love it when she comes and opens up your word and applies it so beautifully and so applicably, so in a real and applicable way. And Father, I thank you that you are with us, that we can know that you're with us and you're for us. I pray, Father, that you would give us eyes to see the many ways you are with us here at Princeton. I pray in Jesus' name. Amen. So we're going to start talking about the cities, and then we're going to talk. I told you about the Jordan Valley and the rift, the 4,000 mile rift. We're going to talk about that, and then we will apply this lesson a little bit spiritually. Yes.
Can you give us the size and location of Israel, the second blank?
Absolutely, I can.
Where? No, it was 390 miles long, and east to west is 30 to 80 miles.
The one after that. It has been called the
Center?
I don't know. I think it is center.
I listen better than you, so.
You're so cool. Yeah, it is called the center of the world.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
What are the three major areas? Political division.
Judah, Samaria, and Galilee.
Yeah, for the Jews, that's how the Jews would divide it up, Judah, Samaria, and Galilee. So let's talk a little bit about Israel's cities. If we take the Gospels and kind of go through Jesus' ministry in them, Jesus visited 21 cities in the Gospels. Now, it was probably more than that. John tells us that he doesn't record everything, that not everything about Jesus is recorded. So it was probably more than that. But it was at least 21 cities. And there are maps in the appendix where you can go and look and see where those cities are. As we walk through John, we will do that. Most of these cities, of course, were in the Cisjordan Hills, which is where most of the cities in Israel are, that central hilly area of Israel. But now I want to return to the Jordan River Valley that we talked about, how interesting it is, how amazing it is as a piece of geography. And so we're just going to look at some things about the geography and about this Jordan River Valley. I want to look first at the variation of elevations in Israel. You have Jerusalem, the city of Jerusalem, which is 2,680 feet above sea level. And then in 128 miles, it drops to 1,300 feet below sea level. That's a drop of 4,000 feet. Then the Dead Sea is another 1,300 feet deep. So the bottom of the Dead Sea is 1,300 feet deep. But beneath that is another 1,300 feet of silt, ending about 3,900 feet below sea level. So the Cisjordan or the Transjordan Hills are 3,900 feet above sea level, and the end of the Dead Sea, the silt under the Dead Sea, is 3,900 feet below sea level. That's pretty crazy, and that's the deepest place on Earth, is the bottom of the Dead Sea. So let's talk then about this Jordan River Valley and what is associated with it. You can see what we call Saudi Arabia there in the Sinai Peninsula, and to the north is Israel. And the valley, the Jordan River Valley, is part of a much larger valley or fissure on the Earth's surface. It is a fault that where there are many, we'll talk more about this in a little bit, but that causes many earthquakes. And it is known as the Afro-Arabian Rift. It's a huge valley that runs for nearly 4,000 miles. It begins in the Amanus Mountains of Turkey, which is north, and west of Israel. And it extends southward through the Gahab of western Syria, and then it goes through Lebanon, where it is known as Bekaa, and into Israel. As it exits Israel, it goes into the Gulf of Aqaba, and or it's also called the Gulf of Eilat, I believe, on the Red Sea. And from there, it parallels the Red Sea. It runs down the Red Sea, where it all the way to Ethiopia, where it splits. One branch goes to the east, out into the Indian Ocean, and the other goes into Ethiopia land, and it goes through, it penetrates Ethiopia, Kenya.